Hey, what's going on? This is Jerry here with Wealth Dynamics. Thank you for joining me. Today, I want to give you a real quick message about setting New Year's targets and how to do them. So the way that I do my goal setting has allowed me to actually have my best year ever for 3 years in a row now. So I want to share with you what I do, how to do it, and why it's different so that you can do the same thing. So here's the reality. Most people set their New Year's goals out of fear. Okay, I need to lose weight because I'm unhealthy. I need to fix my finances because I'm broke. I need to start reading because maybe I failed something last year and I don't want to do it again. They set their goals out of danger, not because they're aspiring or ambitious. They're trying to avoid something painful. Okay, now that's not a long-term way to succeed. That basically gets you just far enough to maybe take some action. But ironically, 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. Just like 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. You guys seeing the correlation with the numbers here? So here's what I do with my goals. First thing is you need to have like a life goal. So it's not something that you're just doing this year. You need to have a life goal, okay? Something that you're always working towards. And the purpose of that is your New Year's goal should align with your life goal. Okay, if I have a New Year's goal and it's not attached to anything, I'm not gonna do it. Because I get it done and then I'm done. There's nothing left after that. So you've gotta have this marathon goal you're working on. Okay, and secondarily, you need to have a reason you're doing it. Okay, think about that. If you set a goal and you don't have a reason, then you're not going to do it. There's no motivation there. Okay, so you need to have a reason why you're going to do this long marathon goal for your entire life. And then outside of that, you need to have all of your values in place. Okay, all of your values, those will be the core beliefs, the things that you're going to use as boundary lines. Okay, I call them personal policies. Okay, but you're basically gonna have all these personal policies in place so that you've got some guards. Like you basically, if you get confused or uncertainty or fearful, you can go back to your personal policies. You can be reminded of this policy. For example, one of mine is be your own advisor. So when I go and I feel uncertain, I'm like, man, who am I taking advice from? I go look back at my policies and I realize I'm not being my own advisor. That's why I feel uncertain right now. Okay, or performance is my only politic. That's another one of my personal policies. So when I have somebody in my life that's maybe not adding value, but they're hanging out a lot and they're hanging around and there's not actually anything there, and I feel weird about it, I can go back to that policy in maybe a time of uncertainty where I might be emotionally attached to this individual, but I can say, man, performance is my only politic. That's the truth, and I'll be reminded and put back on track for my goals. So think of these policies as like your boundary lines that keep you focused and on the right track so that you can actually get to the goal at the end. Okay? Now, once you have your policies in place or your values in place, you need to start putting your plans together. Okay, now I want you to realize what we just did here is we laid a foundation. Most people just set their goal. I want to read more books. I want to make more money. I want to do more of this. I want to do more of that. But they don't know, why am I doing it? What's it attached to in the long term? How am I going to keep myself on track? They just jump right to the goal. So we laid the foundation first. Now we can go to the goal. Okay, now once we have that goal, we start putting together what's my goal. And here's the deal. You need to have more than one. Each goal needs to have a plan attached to it. Each plan needs to have steps, like linear progression. I'm going to do this, 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 and this to achieve the goal, which is like a domino effect, right? And it basically pushes you to that end goal. And each year you should be working closer and closer to it. Okay? Now, once you have your plan and your goal in place, you need to actually communicate. Like give communication to whoever your influencers are. If that means you're married, if that's your parents, if that's your business partner, your employees, like whoever could make or break your goal, they need to know about the goal and they need to know about the role they play in your goal. Okay, so think about it. If you're married and you're like, man, I want to be a millionaire this year. That's going to take a lot of work. So if I don't tell my wife I want to be a millionaire this year, A, she's not going to support the work because she won't know what I'm doing. B, if I don't tell her what her role is, then she's not going to know how to help me. She's going to be like, man, Jerry's doing this thing. That's awesome. What do I do all year? So communicate, and don't just communicate what it's going to look like along the way and also when you get there so that you know you're on track. It's like giving directions, right? If I give directions and I just say, turn left on East Street, turn right on 6th Avenue, and I don't tell anyone what it looks like to get to my office, there's a smaller chance that they're going to get there. But if I say, hey, turn onto East Street, then I want you to go on 6th Avenue, you're going to see the JCPenney's garage. Like all of those things are things that when you see them, it's going to tell you you're on track. Okay, it's gonna tell you that you're actually making progress. Okay, so those are all the things you should be thinking about as you set the goal. Now, the last thing that you should do here with your goal is you should have statistics and accountability. Okay, when you get the goal down to like the fine, clearest point of what do I need to do, you should have numbers laid out that say, all right, I need to do this. And these are the numbers that I need to achieve. All right, so when you have the numbers in place, and that's the accountability factor, it doesn't mean that somebody else is checking on you. It means you know what you need to do and you're accountable to your own numbers. Okay, nobody has to check on me because I know exactly what I need to do. It's not a mystery to me. I've got the numbers down. I need to know. I know how much I need to do, when it needs to be done by. Like, all of that is clear as day. And then I do have people in my life that I tell them, all right, this is my goal. Here's my numbers, and they hold me accountable. For me, it's my wife. Okay, Lexi's gonna hold me more accountable to my goals than anyone else will. So I don't need to pay somebody for that. She'll do that. But it's because I've communicated to her that that's her role. She knows what to do then. Okay. So that really is basically what the goal setting exercise looks like. That's why most people don't achieve their goal for that reason. Bottom line, like, if you're just coming up with like, hey, I'm gonna read more books, and you don't do everything we just talked about, you're gonna have the goals not happen, and it's gonna be done by February. 2 months in, you'll be game over. 1 month in even, okay? So if you're watching this today and you're like, man, how do I actually do all of this stuff Jerry just explained? How do I stick to it? How do I make sure it happens? There's 2 things you need. You need a coach and you need a team. Okay, a coach is somebody that's gonna help you build the plan out. The team is gonna come with all the components and pieces of support that you'll need to achieve the goal. And that's what my company, Wealth Dynamics, offers. So I wanna offer to you today, if you're interested in making 2019 the best year ever, doing like I've done the last 3 years and continuing to grow and progress and have your best year, we're having an offer right now called the #1 in the world deal. Okay, the #1 in the world deal. I'm a Grant Cardone licensee. For the last 2 months in a row, I've been the #1 Grant Cardone licensee and certified coach on the planet, which means that I know what I'm doing, and I know how to help you do the same thing. So our deal is this: for $29.95, you can get 12 months of coaching with me. You can get a ticket to go down to the 10X Growth Conference with me. You can get access to Cardone University for 12 months, and you can get access to my team, the support staff we talked about, for the next 12 months. Okay, that's $29.95. If you're interested in that deal, we've only got about 20 of these left. They're gonna sell out fast. If you're interested in that deal, hit me up, let me know. I'm gonna have Ben go ahead and post a link in the comments for you to go through. It's actually gonna give you what I just explained. But if you're interested in going to GrowthCon, doing the deal with us, making 2019 the best year ever, I want you to click the link. I want you to submit your information to us. We'll get you on a call and talk through what to do next. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you soon.